All right, every once in a while I'm doing something, I'm like, this would make a good video, instructional, something to help others possibly. And when that comes along, I would kind of want to create a video. So what I'm doing here is I am creating waste bunkers. If you have it just like this, when you made your course, you splined. I splined custom 4 with no blend for this. And then it just, if you look at it, it just is very not what a waste bunker looks like. It's so clean and all that. So what I want to do is blend everything together in a much better way. One of the first things I do for that is I want the edges, the sand texture, to just kind of blend and fall into the grass or this other um, kind of texture that I've made. And so you accomplish that by Vertex painting. The first thing is to get your material channel editor out. And what you'll want to do is get your custom 4. I already did this to make custom 4's red the same as like the bunker. But then I'm going to take that and then I'll get my rough. So I'll do my target as custom 4. I'm sorry, my source is custom 4, my target is rough, and then I will click red, and then I'm making everything that I paint blue. So red to blue, when I copy it, it will switch the blue Vertex paint on the rough to this. And then I'm also doing the same for the deep rough here, because as you'll see, as I like it to, sometimes it'll span from rough into deep rough, and I do the same thing. So now all my Vertex blue painting is going to be the same as this. So that's my first step. And what I like to do, and it works well for me, it may not work best for you, whatever, is I like to bring my flow all the way up, do about a 1, go all the way around the entire waste bunker. And the big thing is being sure to get the edges. You can even, to make it easier, you can turn this brush influence on. You can see exactly. So this part I'm going to actually go into the deep rough, so you can kind of see. So right now with the 1, I'm kind of hitting 2, almost 3 rows of Vertex painting. If I were to drop this brush size down to like 5.5, sorry, it's probably gonna be small enough for now. It's just kind of hitting that first row. So either of those works. It just depends on how thick of a transition you want. So if I decide I don't want to go into the deep rough there, I might want to do smaller like that. And basically I just go all the way around, making sure to get the edge really good, and you'll see why, or I'll tell you why, because if you don't, you'll notice a hard transition there. If you don't. All right. Now once you do that, and let's go ahead and do it here because I'm going into the deep rough. I'm going to get it a little bigger here. So now I'm going to bring it into the deep rough also right in that spot as well. Now when I bake the Vertex painting to mesh, if I have my 3DG set with like one texture, it'll remove the 3DG. There you go. There's a couple little spots. Usually that's okay, but if you notice some spots, let's see if there's one anywhere where it's really, okay, that's a good spot. It's really strong there because I missed a couple of the vertices on the actual, right up on the edge. And that can kind of go back. You can kind of see, there we go. Now, after I do this, what I like to do is to make it even a little more kind of blended, is I'll come in here and drop it down to like 15 or even 20, something like that. And I'll come back around kind of the edge and give it another little go, just to kind of do it like that. And you could do this all day, figuring out exactly, like getting it perfect, but it's not really supposed to be perfect as a waste bunker. You just kind of, and so then you're going to get the strong, full effect, and then it's going to kind of just feather out into like that. So now you've got a waste bunker that the material is more blending in to your rough and your deep rough there. Now, the other thing is I want it to also kind of have some wasty stuff. Like what I've done is made a biome in VSPro with this same grass, a little bigger, a little less dense. And I'll create a biome mask for that. I have it set up where it defaults to the trees and everything. But if I can go down and find that biome mask that I made, I'm going to switch it to, I put it in desert just so I remember, and there it is. That's that biome with a couple rocks, a little less. Now you look back and you can see it's really starting to blend in a lot better. But you still notice like right in here, it would be better blended. I can do that with a little more of the Vertex, but what I also can do is I'm going to kind of put another biome kind of in this area that is the same as the trees, what I call grassland on here, and then it's going to, in effect, just blend right in. And it's something you can work with and figure out how to do. So now you've really got that Wastebunker just kind of flowing right into your rough and your deep rough. Now notice right here, there's a lot of grass. So let me see, if I bake it again, if that happens, I want more of that grass gone. I'll open my Vertex painting back up, get it strong, and just kind of give another go through here to really make sure I've hit those vertices and make sure they're like really blue. Let's try that. There you go, that kind of got rid of it. And so that's kind of how I would do it. Again, here you can see a hard line, then I go around and look. Now you see that hard line right there, which I really don't want that hard line. So what I'm going to do now is go back in and I'm going to just go ahead and decide to bring it all the way into this deep rough behind so it's not as hard. Like that. And then again, you always want to bake that Vertex painting to the mesh so it affects the 3DG there. And there you go. So you kind of now have a mix of the sand and the grass and this other texture that I made. And all that's really, it's all Vertex painting and using some biomes with VSPro. If you're Unity planning, you would just have to do it a little bit differently, but the same idea. So if you remember, it was kind of looking like that before. Now it's looking more like that. And I would still go back and do some more cleanup work. That's kind of the general gist of creating these Wastebunkers that kind of fade into and look really good, like they really are supposed to be there.